People whispered in awe of the quiet blacksmith who had become an instant hero. The girl's parents, frantic with worry, arrived soon after, their relief at her unharmed state evident in their tearful embrace. In the days that followed, more stories of injustice and petty crimes being thwarted by Elias surfaced. People came to him seeking not just his craftsmanship, but also his aid in dealing with bullies, corrupt merchants, and the small but pervasive evils that plagued their daily lives. And Elias never turned anyone away. He might not have craved the spotlight, but he couldn't bear the thought of others suffering while he remained hidden in his forge. A common refrain echoed through Aurelia: "Where there's smoke, there's fire." And the townsfolk decided to investigate. They gathered outside his shop, their faces etched with curiosity and admiration. And there he was, Elias, stepping out of his shop, not in shining armor, but in a simple tunic and trousers. His face was weathered, his eyes kind, and his hands, though strong, bore the marks of his honest labor. He saw the crowd and hesitated, unsure of what to make of their presence. "Elias," someone called out, their voice ringing with respect. "We know what you did last night. We saw how you defended us, how you stood up to those thugs." Another voice chimed in: "You don't need to hide anymore. You're our hero, Elias, the silent guardian of Aurelia." At first, Elias tried to brush off their praise. He didn't want to be anyone's hero. He was just a simple blacksmith trying to make an honest living. But the townsfolk wouldn't let him. They cheered, their voices echoing through the streets, their words carrying a conviction that left no room for denial. And so, whether he liked it or not, Elias became the symbol of hope for Aurelia. He didn't take on the persona of a masked vigilante, nor did he don a grand suit of armor. He was just Elias, the blacksmith. But his actions spoke louder than any costume or disguise. Word of his exploits reached the ears of the corrupt Baron von Hessler, whose greed and tyranny had cast a long shadow over Aurelia. The Baron summoned Elias to his court, expecting the blacksmith to cower before his power. But what he saw instead was a man who stood firm, unafraid. "You have become a thorn in the side of my rule," the Baron snarled, his eyes blazing with fury. "Your actions have stirred rebellion against me, and for that I will have you punished." But Elias stood firm, his chin held high. "You have no right to rule with such cruelty and injustice," he said, his voice ringing with conviction. "Aurelia belongs to its people, not to you." These words were a spark that ignited the flames of defiance in the hearts of the townsfolk. They rose up, their voices echoing Elias's sentiment, their demands for change resounding through the once oppressive halls of the Baron's court. In the end, it wasn't Elias's power or recognition that made him a hero. It was his unwavering courage to stand up for what was right, to protect the innocent and challenge the unjust, even when no one was watching. He was a reminder that heroism doesn't need a crown or a cape. It just needs a heart full of courage and a will to do what's right. The moral of the story: true heroism lies not in power or recognition, but in the courage to stand up for what's right, no matter how daunting the odds may seem. Sometimes the quietest hearts beat the loudest in the face of adversity.